Three. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Oh my god, I have another friend who can do the Mario impression. Wow, my bad.
Ouija time.
I don't know why it's kind of echoey. Ah, whatever.
Mm.
Just deal with it. Hello, everybody. Hi. Uh, so first of all, this is my first stream without my second monitor. It broke all of a sudden like a week ago, so I had to go get a new one. Oh, I know why it's echoing. Okay, there we go. So, that's why my page don't look like this. I'm using OBS this time instead of Streamlabs. I use it basically I have a game on one screen and my Streamlab on the other screen, so it just makes things a lot easier for me to do gaming streams. But yeah, my new monitor is supposed to be here by now, but I don't know why it's not here. So, whatever. So for now, I'm just doing. It's just a chatting stream. It's not gonna be. It's not hard. I'm using a program called Restream, and it's going good so far. Want to thank a streamer for helping me use this so I can stream on both YouTube and on Twitch. So, all right. Hello, Sen. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. Um, let's see. I have Mask. I'm so
Hey,
so.
hey.
I'm so sorry. How do we pronounce your name?
Yeah, Mesk is good.
Mesk. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. We have After Dark Ninja.
Hello. You can call me After Dark Ninja or Midnight.
Midnight. Okay. And we have Tyrone. Well, he goes by Tyrone. Tyrone Films. I can't pronounce your last name. I'm so sorry, Tyrone.
That's fine.
Last name Films, right?
Last name.
No.
It should be Films. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
it should be.
How was your night's? Wait, where's the topics? Okay, where's the topic? There we go. This one's a pretty good topic to cover. I'm gonna go ahead and put it there. At least everything is working properly.
Hmm.
There we go. When you say Tyrone, I say Wang Onage. I don't know what deal with that. I don't have no idea what's that. It's like half of the jokes I don't understand. But
Well,
okay.
you know, at least you're trying. At least you're trying there.
But yes, Tyrone here is our experienced casting director and much more. Thank you for using your time to come here too.
For the record, I'm not like a full casting director. I'm just a regular director who's have to do casting calls himself.
Oh. So casting calls. Ooh, casting calls are like super hard to like do.
Oh, trust me, I've only done like two properly twice, and it it can get messy. I mean, I once had a cast for just a single role, and I had 70 applicants.
Yeah, that does sound. That
Wow.
does sound
Sounds like
like
That's
fun.
a
pretty
bunch of
common.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's probably what you have to do daily as a casting director for like professional
Yeah, they would, because
professional.
they'd have to deal with multiple projects, multiple actors, and have to, run them back and forth between, the lead creatives in charge of all that.
Ooh,
Would you say? Would you say that's like the hardest part is just having that good communication of trying to figure everything out amongst like what maybe like several different minds on the project?
Yeah, pretty much. Again, I'm pretty much the solo lead creator of most of my stuff, but yeah, having to go back and forth as a casting director, because in truth, 90% of directing is casting. If you get the right cast
Hmm.
member, they mostly direct themselves.
wow.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Damn.
for sure.
And, just being one person having to communicate with 70 different people applying can be tricky. And about the only memorable thing I had from the casting, because the casting went well, got the voice actor, paid them, got their lines recorded. The thing was, is because I had other roles available, I was approaching, the VAs that I felt had a good personality or a good voice, or just were easy to work with, and gave them roles. And I remember approaching one actor, and I had publicly announced who was the role given. I was gonna give them a role, and they'd blocked me on Twitter. So I was like,
Oh.
okay,
Well,
probably good I didn't hire you, because if you're
It's-
going to,
Makes it a
Yeah.
little more difficult for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. So if I could give advice to actors, is if you do go for a casting call and you don't get the role, don't take it personally. Again, if I'm
Yes.
testing for a single role, I can't pick all 70 of you.
I know.
And chances are that I'll either keep you on record to go back to you for something else, or be able to recommend you to someone else. But if you don't get the role and you want to, like, have a little clapback or a snap or something, it just means it's easy off my list to not recommend you. And the same would go for other casting directors. Don't piss off a casting director.
No.
Don't talk shit about them publicly or privately. Don't do that, because again, professional casting directors deal with lots of people, and if you so much as annoy them, they probably won't even consider you.
Mm,
And that
no.
goes for voice acting, regular acting, anything. Just don't do that. It's like you don't want to, like, be bad. Like, if you were a lawyer, you wouldn't want to be bad to the court clerk, because they control a judge's schedule. So don't ever say something bad about a casting director or do anything to, get on their bad side, because it's not beneficial to you.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure, especially since like um as someone who's done both physical acting and, voice acting in general and done many different casting calls for a lot of different things. Like, let's be real, we can understand like your frustration, like maybe you didn't get it or anything, but like understand from the other's perspective, for sure. And that takes a bit. And I would agree that your repertoire and your reputation are definitely important for that. So, um, just keep your head up high if anything does like that happen. But yeah, I can't imagine just suddenly having that aspect of like, oh great, now there's just this one person I could have recommended them to something else. Now they just have no communication with me whatsoever. All right,
Mhm.
well, that's one person that's not gonna get any other opportunities there. You know?
Yep. Like I've done some like casting calls. Like pretty much 3 of them so far. And there's like some people just audition with pretty bad mic qualities, and some of them are not following instructions. So it's like,
Mhm.
Cause yeah, it's like you listen to the voice, you look at the character, and you're just like, okay, what kind of character would fit their voices, their personality, their acting. Casting director would have to look at everything
Yeah.
from just by hearing the sound of your voice, and that's like really pressuring when they are hearing
Mhm.
everything from you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. The mic quality thing is very, very true. I've had some people audition. Clearly, they're just started out, and I know it can be disheartening to be told no because your mic quality isn't there, but for the project I was doing, there's sort of a baseline,
Mhm.
quality assurance.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean give up and stop voice acting. It just means recognize, yeah, there is a
Yes.
technical ceiling to. I mean, you can't, like do a recording in a busy train and expect it to be just as good as somebody with, the proper sound, you know, sound recording and
Yeah.
editing and all that. There's a baseline. So if any voice actor out there is upset that you're recording on a low quality mic or on your phone and people aren't casting you well, you do have to consider investing in yourself by
Mhm.
investing in gear so that you can
Yeah.
get those roles.
Mhm.
Because somebody who just has a better mic quality just has a better chance.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
will
go
also
ahead.
I was
Sorry.
also gonna say, like, for those that do start off, like for myself, that most of my I would say obviously I started off with a USB, and actually I still do I still use a USB as of right now, but the aspect of that quality is where you're kind of going for, because I started off with a $20 USB, and, got me through pretty basic, casting stuff and everything. But then once I wanted to do bigger things, I obviously needed to invest more. So,
Mhm.
whether you do this for something on the side, you do this for a hobby, maybe you just doing this for fun, you still want to put that, your best foot forward no matter what. So,
Yep.
uh,
Exactly.
and if not, we're not saying, suddenly get an XLR out of nowhere, and like, if you can and you can afford it, cool. If you can't, see where you can start off and go from there, because we
Yes.
understand, we understand times are tough. We understand that, you may not be able to, find the best equipment in the world, but, as Tyrone kind of mentioned, and as we as voice actors kind of know, quality does matter very much. And there will be a difference between your starter microphone at $20 and maybe your next level microphone at around 60 to 80.
There's stuff you
Yes.
And
can do like
yeah,
outside of your
Oh yeah, go ahead.
microphone too.
yeah, that's true
Like
too.
you can
Mhm.
treat your space. You can, like even if you have a USB mic, if you have a good space to record in, soundproofing, etc., like you can really make it sound really, really nice.
Oh yeah.
Blanket, blanket.
I have. I mean, okay, I want to say this. When I first started, I used a towel to hang on a wall,
you,
and I had
you,
my
you,
closet. I
yeah,
had
hey, you got to do what you got to do. I'm
yeah,
telling you.
and I had clothes in between, so I was a little lucky that they act as sound phones, like cheap sound phones. That's when I first started, and I had a
My
pop filter, and that's super useful.
Yeah,
Super
for
useful to
sure.
have that.
Yeah,
I think
pop filter, like I still record in the closet. Like, I mean, it just like, even though I do use the XLR mic and everything, like it's just a nice treated space that sounds good with relatively little echo when my neighbors aren't tap dancing upstairs.
or
Yeah.
yeah,
Point
as long
is.
as like yeah, as long as you find a way somehow, or some fashion, basically. Like, even for myself, I still have like a pretty decent space, but I just find ways to just like either to like isolate things, especially since I right now I live with family, so that another additional thing that makes things a little bit hard, but I,
Yeah.
find ways to find the time.
Yeah. Yeah, the next. Well, yeah, same here. I still record in my closet, but finally I have upgrades, sound foams, blanket behind me. It gets hot, but still, if it's the best space you have, then yeah, just pay attention to your environment. That's how you're able to get good quality, especially when you have an XLR mic. Yeah,
Hmm.
but it's like discussed in other podcasts. If you want
Yeah.
to do this professionally, start treating your space. Get an XLR mic. The cheapest one we have is like that is recommended for beginners is AT2020. That's that's what I used at first before I upgraded to another mic. So yeah, it's really good start with the mic. So said it's sad when people take it personal. Sometimes the VA will make a post about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Just
sorry.
no, after you.
Yeah, it's really hard to get rejected at times, and there are some people go like, "Hey, sorry, we didn't cast you," and just like we don't want our time wasted reading that kind of stuff. It's okay to not say anything that we didn't get the role. That's actually better.
Yeah, I prefer to not know because then I just forget about it
Ye-
eventually.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, we just auditioned, then 1 month later, oh, you guys are rejected. We're gonna give you the finger. It was like, oh my god.
That being said, like when I did cast for people, I did let them know. So I guess I'm kind of eating my own words there, but still, like I prefer not to know.
I don't know. I'm like in the middle. I'm like in the middle of like I think it just depends on how I'm kind of told essentially because like if I'm just told like you didn't get the part, that's it, then yeah, I'll feel terrible. But like um at least with some form of like it's not I know that not every single casting director will take the time to be like thank you for the time and everything
Yeah.
and all stuff, but um I don't know. It's like 50-50 for me. It just depends on how I'm like known about that information because um it's it definitely you definitely feel it when you don't get the part because I've done like I said I've done a lot of plays, I've done a lot of for many years and stuff like that, done a lot of casting calls, and I've known the feeling of getting roles and not getting roles and then
Oh.
being told in different ways of how I was told and and maybe even not told. um some days I want to be told, some days I don't. I think it really just depends on the approach there. And you know and I think that's just the more important part of just kind of whether you get it or not, just know that there'll be many more opportunities. This is
Yes.
the fun thing about it is that if a door closes, another one is right there. Just go
Yes.
for it. Just have fun with it. That's why for me, compared to I think others that are doing this full time, I do this part time and or whenever I get the chance to. So I will treat it as a business, but I also treat it as something that's fun. If I don't get the part, oh well, move
Yeah.
on to the next. And
Exactly.
that takes time, that takes experience, and maybe others haven't done physical acting like myself, but just know that look at Casting Call Club, looking at all those other roles, look at all the other projects that people will be having. That tells you that just because one didn't work out, that doesn't mean that you can't try for the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see all the options you have. Like,
Yep. Um, I would say the problem with CCC, in my opinion, the chances of getting a role is very low.
pretty slim, yeah. I
Yeah.
also am not crazy about like seeing how many people have auditioned for something in particular. Like that's kind of demoralizing from time to time.
I usually
Yeah,
don't pay attention to it. Are you?
because I'm with castings. I mean, it's basically entering a form of a skill lottery. But yeah, at some point there can just be this like if you see like over 1,000 people have auditioned. I mean, first of all, think about whoever has to look over 1,000 auditions.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
So so again, it's pretty much always never a personal thing if you don't cast. I
Yeah.
mean, and to actors, we're not saying if you don't get cast that you're not allowed to be upset or anything like that. Just
Mm-hmm.
maybe don't go ahead and express it publicly
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like in any way that can like identifiably where the person who was casting was like, oh, this person's having a tantrum because they didn't get cast or they're in my DMs crying about it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
not gonna recommend it.
Mhm.
And as far as like telling people they've not been cast, if you are going to do that, one thing I do is all the casting calls I've held, I keep everyone's information. So if I do end up saying that they weren't cast, I'll say I'll keep your information for future projects.
Yeah. That does sound
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, honestly.
Because it creates kind of a talent pool, and you can draw from that instead of having to do another casting call if you already have one that's suitable.
Plus, I
But
think that just builds like the repertoire and your reputation of like, okay, you've tried, and if something comes up, and it might work out.
Yeah.
also a note to people who do want to host casting calls. I've I won't say what projects, but I heard of projects where people start casting for projects before they've got an actual script.
Oh my gosh.
And
Hmm.
for whatever reason, this tends to be people who've made like this OC lore universe type thing, basically their own fan fiction. don't do that because most of the time your actors will just drop out. Because most of the time the people doing this are saying, "Oh, it's unpaid stuff, but I'm just doing this like as for fun." But then I'll have actors come to me and tell me, "Oh, they don't even have a script, or or this is a really weird tell sign. They want the actors to go into a Discord voice chat to role play the characters."
Yep.
Yeah, that's a red
Yeah.
flag for me right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's different when it's like, a built up sort of, community or group that, pretty much helps invent the characters. It's different when it's one person casting, brings in these actors into a Discord server, and is like, now roleplay and talk to me like my characters. It's like, buddy, don't do that. Don't do that.
no. Don't.
It's just ugh. So do keep in mind, actors, if somebody is, saying like starts using things like there's no script, unpaid Discord server, keep an eye out, and the moment somebody says talk like my character or roleplay as my character, just leave. If you're not been paid, you have no obligation to stay, just leave.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because that's weird.
Even if you
And
have been
people-
paid, I mean, you have no obligation to do something you're not comfortable with. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like unless there's a contract or anything, which these people don't know how to do, just don't stay. Because again, people who want to hire voice actors or use voice actors anyway, voice actors are not toys.
No.
They're not things you can just make them do whatever you want, even if you pay them. People have their boundaries, so do that, and don't try to don't try to use a casting call to form a relationship with
Oh my
voice actors.
God.
Just don't.
I
Like
was
you
gonna
can,
I was gonna say even extending that to collaborations as well too. I would agree with that too, just because
oh
don't
yeah,
just
Mhm.
we're all even I still get nervous, but we're all human beings behind the voices that we do. We you know we have our boundaries of what we can and can't voice. And for myself, I don't mind attempting to try to do an OC or anything, but
Mhm.
just don't be weird. Just know that you know we're voice acting. This is acting, but don't try to do any extra. Like I think Tyrone said that pretty well. Like just just treat us like human beings.
Mhm. Exactly.
like it shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, not in voice acting, but I was at one this past year attached to direct a short film. One of the creators ended up being so much of a problem that other people and myself just exited the project. And when I heard the creator was trying to, get a new director, I hear that they were also trying to ask the director out on a date before sealing the deal. It's like, why would you?
Oh.
No,
Oh,
no, don't.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with people who have worked together developing a relationship, but don't try to start. That's just a bad move, guys. Bad move. Don't do it.
Don't.
Like, I know that there's VA couples, and that's fine. Arts
Mhm.
couples, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you start with like, hey, let's do something together, and then immediately go, so what are you doing Friday night? It's like, stop,
Oh
get out,
no.
get out of
Yeah.
here, get out of here.
Uh-uh.
No.
No. Gosh, that's creepy. I have never heard about this.
got the Halloween shivers.
Oh yeah, it's Halloween Eve. Happy Halloween, everybody. I
It's
forgot.
just, as someone who's talked to many VAs, I've heard many accounts from VAs who get either creepy clients or other creepy wannabe VAs.
Oh, yeah. I can
Like, it's just-
relate.
It's just
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
why
think
are you-
everyone's got one of those stories at least, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had my fair share of bad clients.
Oof. Same. Said also.
I guess-
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
guess that's on the other list of topic, what not to do around VAs.
Yep. Let's see. So
Mhm.
it's the thing that's also important to the project when it comes to casting calls is that the creator needs to do research on the VA because you don't want people to get the wrong impression. Oh yeah, that's.
I know exactly what Zed is talking about.
Oh
Mhm.
man.
I know exactly what they're talking about. Yes, people, do research your VAs because you don't want a VA who has any kind of bad image attached to them. I won't say which VAs, but there are VAs in the community who have an earned negative reputation over things that they've done. And while a large chunk of, the community may just not care, if you are pursuing either something like that is either a family friendly project or some kind of professional project, you probably don't want someone who's got really bad either proven allegations or even allegations in general.
Ugh.
You just don't want that. So look at their. I remember there was one VA who auditioned for a recent thing. Look at their profile. It's a bunch of like pro Trump, anti trans, like
Ugh.
conspiracy nonsense. And I'm like, block.
No.
Just just check the profiles. Check their profiles. Check their work. You don't want a crazy bigoted nut job on your project
Ugh.
because because yeah, I don't because like when I work on a project, I don't want anyone being terrible. And the moment somebody is, I'll just throw them off.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be on that boat when it inevitably catches fire, right? Like that's the
Mhm.
Nope.
Yeah. Don't sink the ship, just throw the bad captain overboard.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Alright.
analogy.
Oh, whoops. I was doing a shout out for you guys. I forgot to do that earlier. Alright. Yeah, it's like image is so important for like it's not just the casting director, it's also the VAs too. Gotta make sure you're clean. Let's see where's
Because also if you know because there's just kind of like just a contingency effect where on everything where, you know, a project has a bad VA and the lead creator doesn't want to get rid of that VA, well, then that just raises questions about the
the
project.
the
For
creator.
example, yeah, for example, there was a Spider-Man fan film. I think it was called Spider-Man Lotus or something that was supposed to get released, but the actor who played Spider-Man turned out to have said a bunch of racist stuff,
Ooh.
and the director came to defend them and try to make excuses instead of condoning the actions. It's like, okay, you director haven't said anything, but by not calling them out or condemning them, you're you know basically enabling and saying you're okay with what they said. It's a PR nightmare.
Oof.
Because no, we're not in the era where words don't matter. You don't want bad people on your project, and you shouldn't stand by bad people.
No.
I mean, I used to have a friend VA, and at one point, turns out he was, rooming someone over Twitter DMs. I confronted him about it. He fesses up. I snag those DMs, send it to the people who need to know, and buried him because I don't stand for that.
Wow.
If you're a transphobe, I'll throw you out. If you're a racist, I'll throw you out. If you're any kind of terrible person, I'll throw you out. Scorched
Mm.
earth.
I mean, you don't have any obligation to put up with anybody that you don't want to put up with too. Like,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, we can still be friends. It's like, your opinions are disgusting, and I don't want to be friends with people like you.
Mm-mm.
see, like people get like offended over like blocks and stuff on Twitter like pretty regularly, and I'm like, that person has just as much right to curate their space the way they want to as you do. Like, if you get blocked, it sucks maybe, but like you probably deserved it.
Well, sometimes you're just like, why did they block me? What? Well, whatever. Just move on.
Yeah, like it's
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not the kind of person to dwell on it, I guess, but I just go, oh okay, and then I move on with my day. Like it doesn't really
Yeah.
affect me.
Hi,
Yeah.
Amelia.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amelia.
Emilio's here.
What
Yeah.
up?
instant drill out when you do like when you voice in certain contents, like what Sid said. It's like beyond horrible.
It happens a lot, I feel, too, which is unfortunate, but I think
Yeah.
you see quite a bit of it, especially just innocuously
Yeah, because it's
hanging out on Twitter.
It's like all over in Japan, and there's nothing we can do about it because it's so marketable.
Yeah. And I think the other problem is the fans of many of these creators who just don't care and just blindly defend them
No.
because they set the
Yeah.
precedent for you can be a terrible person, but as long as you make quote unquote good stuff, then you're allowed to have a fan base. It's like, no, they shouldn't. And that's not just in the VA community, that's for every facet of anything.
I mean, it makes it really hard to call out, too, because, like, if there's just, you know, hundreds of thousands of people that can be reasonably certain will defend this person, it makes it very difficult to be like, I guess I'll point it out and then get screamed at for 5 days. Like,
Yeah, because you know, toxic people develop toxic fan bases.
yeah.
I mean, outside of VAs, just look at people like Logan Paul and Keemstar who shouldn't even be around. Still have a ton of fans, still make tons of content, still out here, and I'm like, I mean, these people did terrible things and they're still allowed to just continue. But then again, like, why am I not surprised?
Yeah, there's like some from like nights ago when I was talking to a friend. This goes to the VTuber community too. There's like some people who are so manipulative. Like it's because they got, well, in my opinion, it's just like, oh, they're big. That means they're gonna be like, there's a lot of manipulators out there, and they do like weird content, and they get away from it get away from it just because they are bigger. They got a lot of followers and all that stuff. So it's like I mean, they do have a lot of power, so that's a shame.
A puppy just licking my nose. Hey, here's your boy.
A slight break from the
Yeah.
serious talk. Puppies. Yes.
Yeah, we have a puppy.
It's well, it's my neighbor's puppy, but we're babysitting, and he's a very good little boy.
He's a sweetheart.
Yes, you are. Yes, he is a big cuddle bug right now. But I will say there are a few things that you shouldn't do. I recently got an email from a voice actor saying they wanted to work with me, and I deleted it for one very simple reason. Didn't even address me. It just said, I would like to collaborate with you. Nowhere in the body was my email, or not my email, my name. So it's like, so this is probably copy pasted to like 100 people. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You can't do that if you're engaging an individual. Don't do that because I'll just delete it.
Hey
Actually
man,
address
can we
them.
collab?
Oh god, there's so many people.
VA
like that.
equivalent of a LinkedIn recruiter just hitting me up. Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh, I hate that.
Just
I don't have
the
LinkedIn
word
anymore.
hi.
Oh god. And right now there's a new problem of fake artists DMing people asking
oh
for
my god, I
commissions.
hate that.
There's an influx. I had like 3 this week already. I had 3.
Yeesh.
And you can always tell because even though they have quote unquote commissions, the art style they post is never consistent, or they don't even have art. Or if you check their replies, they have like the same reply on a bunch of hey, no biting you. No biting. Or just like
Or they just
or just-
claim that they're professional artists.
or you can actually look at photos that they post and just find them elsewhere on the internet.
Yeah.
I always do that. I always Google reverse search stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it's
reverse
like,
image search is my hero.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so guys, if an artist DMs you and you've never interacted with them, don't commission them. Either ask for recommendations or actually look for artists yourself to commission. don't
Yeah.
let people just come into your DMs.
Yeah.
Because now if you put the word commission into a tweet, people will come running
Yeah, you're about to get
automatically.
botted.
Yeah, that
The same
happened.
if you put like NFTs. Oh, another one. If you put like hacked in your tweet, you'll get bots that will recommend you to scammer accounts on Instagram. So if you see the like, oh, my Twitter got hacked or something, yeah, those bots will come in just to scam you. I mean, you control them if you want, but they're just there to scam you. If anyone gets an account hacked, change your email on that account. Change not your email, your password on that account, and it will shut whoever's got access to it out. And do that quickly before. Oh, puppy, puppy, what's wrong? You whimpering? Want me to put you down?
Oh.
But yeah, just be very aware of social media, guys. Don't take everything at face value. Like investigate. I once actually one of my earliest adventures into VA was I spoke to a voice actress, and she said that she had done about $1,000 worth of work with someone, and they weren't gonna pay up.
Wow.
So they gave me this person's email. I looked into it, found the dude's workplace.
Oh.
Because he used his public business email for this.
Whoa.
So I just said, look, here's this guy's workplace. If you want to let him know what he's done, you can. But they said, no, so I'm not gonna do that. But I gave them some I commissioned them for a few things, and that's kind of where I started.
Oof.
So yeah,
This is just an advertisement for getting paid in advance.
Yeah.
Which I've totally never like been screwed over by not doing that. Not me.
Yeah, I have had some people where I've paid and they just never came in. I remember I paid a VA for some lines up front in like, I think it was like May 2019 maybe.
Wow.
And I never got the work. Never got it. And they ended up deleting their Twitter. Opened a new one, never responded to me, so I'm just like, okay then.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't much, but still, it was like disrespectful.
It was like, I love your voice that I've likely never heard. Yeah.
Oh no, I know their voice work. Their like their new Twitter is fairly popular, so I know that they do voice work because they were already doing it. They just decided to just fob me off.
No, I think that Amelia meant is like, you got an email that says, oh, can we collab? It was like, have you seen our works yet or something? Oh, previous topic? Oh, sorry. But no, you're good, Sen. This podcast is all about covering serious topics. Sorry, I don't remember what we're talking about. There was like so much. But yeah, there's a lot of good points from our experience, casting director. Oh, I was right. Oh, okay. It's like, yeah. Oof. Let's see what else. I think that we pretty much... Oh yeah, go ahead.
One thing that I've heard many voice actors say is bad about casting calls: don't say improvise something you think the character would say. Don't do that.
Oh my god.
Because like that doesn't make sense, because they're auditioning to be the character. They don't know the character yet, because if you're giving, like, I know that some people give like character sheets and all that, and some people will, eventually develop, they'll develop the character, but don't have them as an audition do that. Don't have them as an audition, because that's really cheap. Because it shows a lack of effort on your part. If you're not confident to put either example lines or lines from a script into it, then you shouldn't be casting yet.
Yeah, that's really advertising that your script isn't done yet.
Yeah, pretty much. Or again, it's the role players or it's the weirdos who claim they're writing a story when really they're just writing, OC lore and just want to take advantage of people. Don't do that, guys.
No.
And also, never pay to do an audition. I don't know if this has been around in the VA community, but I remember seeing a casting call for a live action project, and they said that actors had to pay $50 to audition. I'm like,
What?
that's a scam. Yeah, that's a scam.
Uh,
And
that's
yeah, no,
ridiculous.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what everybody on the post was saying. It was just like, what the hell are you doing? That's scamming. You know, actors have to put their time. Actors' time is the money that they spend on this.
I know, right, bro?
So yeah, if anyone sees a casting call where people have to pay to audition, flag it and spread it around as like garbage, because it is.
Oh
Actors
my
should never
God.
have to pay to audition. Your
Oh.
time is money.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I seen this like the improv thing. I'll say what the character would say. I saw that once. It's like, what the heck? That's so weird and so stupid at the same time. But it was a show that I was familiar with, so I was like, oh, I guess it's okay, but at the same time, it's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, about the only thing I could say that say something like the character would be if it's like for a fan project, like, you know, if someone's using like comic book or movie or cartoon or anime characters that people would know, you know, that might be okay, but again, you should just write. You should put in as much effort as you want your actors to give,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
you want to set a bar of if you know, if you're not going to put in the quality of work in your casting call, why should any actor audition for you?
Yep. Exactly.
Also, just a different skill, right? Like improv and voice acting are kind of different things entirely. Like being able to improv something is
Yeah,
a
that's
little bit
very
more of
true.
a, like, if you want the best person for the role, great, write some lines up and audition those lines. If you want somebody to be able to improv, then, you know, look for that, I guess, but don't do that.
No.
Yeah,
Don't do
I know.
both.
I know many actors who can deliver like lines perfectly, but if you ask them to improv, they're not going to know what to do, because there's a difference between improv, acting, and impersonation.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have to know what you're looking for.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, I'm not. I think there's like some people go like, I'm not sure what kind of voice I'm looking for, but it's like, go ahead and just do it, kind of like that. Like,
I think to also add to just to kind of put that, there's nothing wrong with doing OC work. It's just
yeah.
number one, don't be weird about it. Number two, have a plan for it, as everyone has mentioned, of writing stuff,
Yep.
writing something to full fruition, and have a full thought, because as everyone said, there's a lot of work that went into it. There'll be a lot of work for the voice actor you're trying to get, even if it's a collab. Just think about the other person and what they need to be doing, and don't be weird about it.
Yeah, that's very true. Because I don't want to get too bogged down, but I think a problem is a lot of people, a lot of who develop like OCs and fantasy worlds and stuff, they write lore instead of a story, and then expect actors to just portray the lore. I mean, it's like people who think the best part of Lord of the Rings is the backstory.
Oh.
Like, just like, I won't get sticking into it because that's a writing argument, not really a casting argument. But
Yeah.
guys, don't invent Dune or Lord of the Rings or The Last Airbender and fill out all this backstory and then bring in actors. Don't do that.
Oh.
Make an actual
Lord.
project. Make an actual project. So it's an audiobook or a comic or an animation or something, but don't make 300 years worth of backstory and then bring in voice actors.
Oh my
because-
god. I just seen
Don't
casting
do
calls like that. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's like a paragraph. It's like, what? We just want to like a sentence or two about the character and the
Yeah,
voice
that's-
type that people want.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem across all stretches of this industry, in animation, and comics, and wannabe film writers. And like, being a writer myself, it's just so annoying, because like, these should be the things that if you learn about writing, get hammered out of you. But these people aren't really writers. They're people who create fan fiction and then just invent their own world about it. Like, it's fine to do that, guys, if it's your own personal thing and you post it on a blog or somewhere. But once you bring other people into it and try to make an active project out of it, then you're going to have to start doing it professionally. Because so far, the best way I've seen OCs get used is like the chicken nugget TikToks. Because those are they're the TikTok videos with the little cute cartoon dog and the cat with the cheeseburger hat. And does somebody know what I'm talking about?
No.
Nope.
Only vaguely, yeah.
I mean, like, I guess if you're gonna make OCs, either make an actual project or just use them for fun short animations. Don't do lore and then bring actors to suffer in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess another bit of advice for actors, because I know many express this: don't be a jack of all trades voice actor, because a jack of all trades is a master of none. You want to, like, I know you don't want to hear this, but in creative industry, you do kind of need to pigeonhole yourself, because you need to have a specialization where people can come to you. Like, you'll have a particular voice type or a character set you can fulfill. And I know many actors feel like, oh, but, you know, these people get cast for this and I don't. It's like, yeah, but you can't be good at everything. I mean, James Earl Jones can't exactly play a child character, and Jim Carrey isn't exactly good for a person who can't emote. You know, that's the kind of thing. You need to be able to have a certain set of roles that you'll do really well at, and then you pursue that. And sure, you can find deviations here and there, but you generally want sort of a Venn diagram of what you're really good at. Because again, if you're an actor who can voice anything, you'll end up voicing nothing because you won't stand out.
Yeah.
So specialization is fine. Don't beat yourself up on it. If you don't get a role, you don't get a role, but there's always somebody casting for something. There'll always be a project. I've known many actors who think that they didn't get a role in a project, and then they did, and then because they thought they didn't get it, they deleted the email with all the details in it and have to panic to try and get it back. It's like, just have faith in yourselves, guys.
Yeah.
And if it's not that project, it'll be another one. Or I've heard actors who think they can't voice certain characters get offered those characters. You know, don't put opportunity down. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You want to be as open to opportunity, but also not be afraid to specialize yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure each of you have characters that you can just voice really well, and all of you know certain roles that you'd probably be pretty bad at.
Yeah. Exactly.
Very much.
Yeah.
And that's
There's
okay.
definitely one game I'm in. It's just like I feel like the voice didn't fit the character, but the creator chose me to be the VA for this character. So I really do appreciate the creator contacting me about it. So just give yourself a pat on the back, just for working with them, and just appreciate them coming to you, that they want your voice. What the heck, stupid bots. Said, wait, what? What about the Truman Show?
Oh, I think because she said because I was talking about Jim Carrey playing, you know. But then again, Jim Carrey actually fit the role because it's very emotive. But imagine a role where Jim Carrey wasn't allowed to smile, laugh, or even say anything. It's like, why even cast him? That's the main thing. And also, sad truth is, sometimes actors will get cast for things they're not suited to. Sometimes casting directors will make bad calls. And we won't. And, you know, we won't know if they work, you know, either until actually start or not.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Seth's comment. He's actually a dude, not a she.
I don't know why I said that.
No, he has to get used to it because of his voice. I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at every time I hear this. Poor Sid. Anyways, he said never cast someone because they're popular. Yeah, I get. I see a lot. I think there's like a lot of people who does come to like VAs all because they are popular and they have big names. Well, their names are more recognizable than everyone else. It's like, and there are VA and they and there. Excuse me. There, those big there's some big VA said that we don't they don't that they did they dislike
breath.
that.
Luna?
There we go. There's a lot of them that says they don't like that at all. They don't want to be commissioned like for clout and like get more follows and all that stuff. Sorry about that guy, that shammer.
Yeah, I advise against casting directors or anyone casting to cast someone just because they're popular.
I know.
Because popularity does not mean good for the role, it just means you have a name. Like, yes, you'll get more attention, but if the person then doesn't end up being good for the role, congratulations, you cast an actor who doesn't fit the role, and people will be like, the voice work isn't actually that good, and just forget your project.
I know.
It'd be better to prop up a new voice actor or moderate voice actor who isn't relatively well known, but when people hear the voice and actually like the project, can spread it around. I mean, and that's not to say that don't cast someone just because they're popular either. I mean, I remember the Odd Ones Out was rejected for his cartoon show by one company because we don't want a YouTuber. Even though YouTubers can be popular, you cast for the right voice.
Yes.
You don't cast based on a follow size. You cast on the voice.
Yeah, it's a tough. I understand where like as a small creator, your instinct would be to go with somebody bigger, right? Because like, you want more eyes on the project. You want your thing that you're working on, presumably very passionate about, to be seen by everybody. But if it comes at the cost of quality of the project, then it's not good for anybody involved. It's bad for the voice actor. It's bad for you. Like it's just
And I will say from my perspective as well, as someone who, even though I do this part time, I still have it's that feeling that you feel like, okay, you're gonna try this project, but you're not gonna get it because you don't have however many followers versus someone that maybe you were befriended is also in the community that has like thousands and all the recognition and reputation. And no, it's just, and to this day, it's still something that I still struggle with. And obviously, I know that there will be many others in the community that feel that way. But just remember the fact that, for those that do get it, it's based off of their talent, what they're capable of, and that does not make you any less of a talent. You have your own strengths, and you'll find that role that will work out. But just remember that, again, VAs are people. They have their reputations, but that doesn't, just because they suddenly get the role and you don't, doesn't mean it's based off that follower account. And it's just something that will be a part of your journey and the growing and learning aspect of it. So
it goes both ways too. Like, I mean, if you see somebody consistently working with like new people with like very small other creators, like very, very small, like you can probably guess that the person is somewhat problematic and like people won't work with that person. Like,
that can be very true. Or they're trying to, sucker in newbies. I don't know where you find the casting. I don't know where you can find casting calls for this, but voice actors, don't go in for people who want Watch Mojo style content.
And there's like some people ask for new VAs to audition instead of like older VAs. But
that probably means you're about to get paid like nothing.
Yeah, but some people use the word we encourage new VAs to come here, and that's actually okay, you know.
Yeah.
Just always be watchful. Be very careful. Just take everything with a grain of salt. Do your research. Check everything. Essentially.
Yeah. Always promote, researching and knowing who people are. I mean, check their Twitter profile, take their username, put it in Twitter and see what pops up because sometimes you can just find somebody bad just by looking at their name and being like, "Oh, here's a thread about how they scammed VA." That's like, yeah, that's
Well.
pretty obvious. And also remember, publicly posting information might, get you in trouble, but there's nothing wrong with privately telling people. Like I once had a bad client because he would throw a temper tantrum and I just cut the relationship with him, but I knew VAs that he wanted to work with and I privately gave them a heads up on, hey, maybe shouldn't work with this guy because he once also I don't know if he didn't intend this, but he gave the SFW name of an SFW voice actor who didn't have the account linked.
Oh no.
Like
That's
I
rough.
knew, and here's the thing: I knew that VA on both because they had told me, but I'm pretty sure he did that unknowingly. Like if I didn't know that VA was that, then he would have just kind of outed them, which is not cool.
Yeah.
Oof.
You don't want to dox somebody. That's
No.
Yeah, privately
bad.
or public. Do not privately or publicly dox someone.
Yeah.
And again, if you do that publicly, that's a crime.
it's literally
Oh,
criminal.
yeah.
Yes.
It's literally a crime. Don't do it, guys.
Robert Williams hated being casted because he's a well-known actor. Oh, I love Robert Williams.
You mean Robin Williams?
Robin Williams? Whoops, I said Robert. My bad. Robin.
I love Bob. I love
Bob
Bob
Williams?
Williams.
Bob Williams.
I love Robin Williams. He's very
man,
good at what
that's
he's doing, but it's a good sign that he said he doesn't want to be casted because he is he's popular and he's just
Yeah.
great. Known as
Like,
the
have you guys
legendary guy.
Like, have you guys seen his his psychological thriller stuff?
His dramatic roles were great. Like a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
Like, have you seen 1 Hour Photo or Insomnia?
Yeah, 1 Hour Photo is great. Like,
Goodwill
Goodwill Hunting is great.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
classic.
I haven't watched them yet.
Oh, you need to. I would recommend Goodwill Hunting.
Goodwill Hunting.
It's not your fault.
Not your fault, Will.
Okay, guess I'll have that. I guess it'll be my next posted on my next movie, Goodwill. Wait,
But yeah, that's also a thing for voice actors is that if you do, like, voice actors, you have no obligation to voice act for anyone or anything. You pick your projects.
Yep. It's like, what? Amelia's like, what? I shouldn't audition for Gotcha Live?
Oh, those gotcha things. Why are so many people who make that gotcha stuff terrible?
I don't know.
Like, I've just seen so many accounts just post racist stuff, and it's like, why is this a certain cluster forming around this thing? I'm gonna avoid it with all. I'm just gonna avoid it.
Yeah, Gotcha kills you. Kills your wallet too. Said, you know what's a bad sign? I know this VA is highly controversial, but they are my friend. They believe they do good work. Oh my god, that's a bad sign. It's all because, oh, they're my friends and they do good work. They're still like defending the VAs.
Yeah, I've seen many of it where, oh, but here's the thing, like, why are you friends with somebody who does terrible things?
Yeah.
Like, why are you friends with someone who, because knowing said, I know the VA they're talking about.
Yeah.
And again,
me
the stuff
too.
that VA has publicly done, it's like, I don't know why you'd be friends with them or try to defend them. Again, I've just blocked people for just saying gross stuff, and it's like never look back. 'Cause why should I?
Yeah, I
I
would
mean, you
just
shouldn't work with or be friends with bad people.
no. There's like okay, there's like one thing I want to say to like new VAs. Please do not go to paid casting calls and not expect and don't and ask to not get paid.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Please
god.
don't.
I saw that from someone's like what
Oh
it's like
yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, what if I don't want to get paid?" It's like the casting director's like, okay, then just ask." It's like, "No, don't do that."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, the reason some people will do that is because they're not getting paid work elsewhere, so they need to up their, their viewership. So they will
Visibility.
so they will do unpaid work, taking paid work from other people, and it's that's just trashy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when I was for a while I did wrote demo reel scripts for actors, and people were telling me you're not paying enough because you're undercutting out every other writer out there. So I upped up my prices,
Ah.
and that's good because you get paid more, and also you're not just dicking over people.
Mm.
So, like VAs, there's nothing wrong with doing free voice work for a friend or a project where everyone's doing it for free. But if there's a paid project and you try to sneak in with, "Oh, I'll do it for free," that's very suspicious.
Oh my gosh.
Just don't do that. Don't do that. And also it incentivizes the creators to just keep coming back to you. Like I know some VAs go to animators saying, "Oh, I'll do your thing for free," and it means a lot of people who normally get a bit of work, doing just short animations, get cut out, and this other person gets more, viewing space because people don't actually want to commission them because they do terrible things outside of voice work or even in voice work. So it's like
Ugh.
that's cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
And just because it's not illegal, guys, doesn't mean it's morally correct.
Oh no.
Like consider the fact, like even as like I think for myself as both a VA and a writer, um, know your worth,
Mhm.
because whether you're doing this full time, part time, or for fun, know your own worth because some people take this. This is their livelihood. This is what they will be their 9 to 5. This is what they're trying to do, and just saying that you're gonna do like like some type of commission for free. No, you basically are just not. You're just ruining the fact of this is a job for some people. This is how people will be paying their bills. Um,
Yes.
there's a big difference between asking to maybe voice something for fun versus a collab versus a serious paid commission
Mm.
where people need to be paid if they want to get this done, and trying to almost do like a bidding war on say I'm just saying, okay, I'm doing it for free, it's okay, don't worry, you don't need to pay me for your personal exposure. Yeah, that just means that someone else that also could have done the same and could have needed that paycheck. Just
Yeah.
it's just a whole big mess.
I mean, recently we had this thing with Crunchyroll where,
Ugh.
actors were getting paid really low amounts for things that was making Crunchyroll a ton of money. They
Oh.
weren't getting royalties on it. And I think there was a funny thing where it's like if you unsubscribe from Crunchyroll, they say, "Oh, we can't support voice actors if you're gone." It's like you're not supporting voice actors.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah, just
Oh.
and of course there was the whole recent controversy where um uh, the original Bayonetta voice actor
Oh
claimed
yeah.
that she was getting underpaid, causes a big ruckus. People are like, we should be paying voice actors more. Then details come out from reliable sources of no, she was actually going to get paid that amount per session, would have earned 15 grand.
But somehow she
And we
got
also
like soured about it. It's like, oops.
Yeah, and then we find out, she supports transphobes and wanted people to donate to an
Trump
anti-abortion
supporter.
charity. And I'm like, so you lie through omission, you want us to support bad things and you say bad things, and now you've absolutely tainted the conversation of pay voice actors more,
Oof, thank
which
you,
is a
Helena.
conversation that yeah, it ruins it.
You
Whenever you
ruin it for
lie,
everybody else.
exactly. If you have to lie to make a point, you invalidate the argument, which is why right-wing pundits are always making bad arguments.
Ugh.
It's like the next time somebody comes out and is like, I was paid $150 for an entire season of an anime, people are gonna be like, well, you're
Oh,
probably lying about it.
haha.
And
Well,
nope, I've seen it. I've seen it. People have posted got paid 150 from Crunchyroll for an entire season. It's like,
yep.
I've paid
Wow.
VAs more than that. I've paid VAs more than that for more
I've
for
paid
less work.
VAs more than that too. Yeah,
I know,
Like it's
for
right?
just
much less work too.
Yeah.
and here's the thing. If every VA stopped working, then everything from commercials to cartoons, to even live action films, which hire a lot of voice actors for things. Yeah, those things aren't going to be done so well because obviously there's a difference between a screen actor and a voice actor, but also screen actors tend to actually cost a lot more, even though voice actors should be getting paid the exact same amount.
Yep.
And union guilds need to be giving more help to voice actors as well.
Mhm.
So it's just a case of we need to be able to have the conversation of VA should be paid more and not let idiots come in. I know there's a bunch of like quote unquote Japanese elitists who are like, oh, English voice actors are useless and blah
Uh,
blah blah. It's like, no, you shut up and get out of here because your arguments are terrible. We should be paying voice actors what they're worth. Unions and companies should respect that because at the end of the day, the reason companies try to do that is because pay the little people as little as possible so the big guys at the top can just roll around in money.
ugh.
And we need to stop thinking of companies as poor little things that can't afford to spend money on voice actors too much. It's like, no, you can. You just, your CEOs want 3 boats instead of 2 boats this year.
Nothing like the millionaire conglomerates.
Yeah, trickle economics is a lie, people. It's a lie to keep you in place. Don't believe it. And
Don't
also,
believe it.
and again, unions are good for employees. Don't believe any garbage that a company tells you about. Unions hurt our employees, and they would get you less wages. If unions gave employees less wages, companies would get unionized real quick.
Oof.
Companies don't like unions because they protect employees and mean employees get paid more. And this is not just in voice acting, it's for every industry.
Agreed.
So, yeah, guys, you need to make sure you're paid what you're worth. Don't undersell yourself. Don't offer work for free on actual projects.
Yeah, I like up.
And
Oh, sorry.
don't attack voice actors in general for either getting a role, quitting a role, anything like that. Don't attack voice actors because it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I just like up my price, because I'm getting a bit more experience and stuff. So it's like, don't get underpaid. So it's like, yeah, we have the experience. We know what we're doing now, so that's why we price ourselves that way. And there's like people who've just been here for 5+ years. Of course, they're gonna up their prices like that. Respect that, guys. Oh, I said it's okay. No worries. Oh, okay. Wow, we covered quite a bit in this one. We did. Apology said if we like trigger your trauma. We're sorry about that. Ha. I wouldn't want to do the redeems in the podcast.
I'm being a minor troll in Luna's chat.
Oh no.
I redeemed Southern accent.
Phoenix, thank you for the raid. How did your stream go?
Woo, raid.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Legends.
I knew it was coming, yeah.
I was gonna steal it from you. Although, not gonna lie, I would take a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. On average, those are over $4,000.
Yeah, worth.
Worth it.
Totally worth it. So we're gonna do how to direct via live recording or in script directions.
That's a good one right there for today's episode.
So, how many out of you three? How many of you have done live recording directions?
I have twice.
Yeah, I have.
I have not.
Okay, so I remember there was I can't I remember exactly who told me, but there was a VA told me there was a project where everything had to be live recorded. You shouldn't make that a requirement in casting calls on projects, guys, because voice acting is a global sphere and it can make it really difficult for people to always commit to that. I mean, because thanks to COVID, studio home recordings are fairly common. And if you're going to cast a voice actor, you should cast them because you have the confidence that they could record regardless of whether or not it's live or not. I do like live directing when I can, but I never make it a requirement because yeah, you have to be respectful of a voice actor's time because not all voice actors work all the time. Not all voice actors are awake at the right time. But it can be a lot of fun to do that, especially a one-on-one. You're just directing, going through the script.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants to direct via live, never say the phrase, "Do it again just like that." Don't say that. That's a literal impossibility.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's an impossibility because just the way the human body works, and also you want to be able to get a variety of responses. You can say do it a different way or let them try it again. Oftentimes I like actors to give input on how they're doing it, but don't say, oh, just do it again like this, just do it again like that, or make them do it 20 times because you'll burn them out.
Oh.
So and
at
don't
least be
rush
able to
them.
give specific feedback. Don't just be like, do it again, but like more energetic. Like,
Yeah.
Ugh.
yeah.
You can say change your tone of voice, try a different accent, put pauses or emphasis here, but you have to learn but if you are going to do live recording, you need to actually have a director.
Yeah.
I know a lot of projects don't actually have directors, so they hire voice actors who can direct. And I've seen instances where the directors and the voice actors do a really good job, but the people in charge of the company who don't seem to get it, just, they say, oh, we wanted it a completely different way, and it's like, you should trust your director and your actors to interpret the script. Because you don't want to just have them do the same line over and over and over and over. It gets boring for everyone involved.
Yeah.
And again, pretty much all the times I've done live recordings, never had to get more than 4 takes out of a line.
Oof.
Because they'll do it one way, and I'll give a suggestion. They'll do it that way. They'll give a suggestion. Oftentimes we'll come to a consensus, and we'll do a 4th one, and with those takes, then we'll just pick the best one in editing. So don't burn out your actors thinking, oh, we gotta do the line 20 times to find the right... No.
Oh my gosh.
No. And as far as putting script directions in, make sure if it's something supposed to be in a whisper, you write that in the script. If something's supposed to have like if there's supposed to be spaces, you use the little 3 dots or a comma. If there's supposed to be emphasis, you can edit a word to have that emphasis. But in general, you should be good at communicating via words on a script or words in person. If you can't do that, you hire a director.
Yeah, and the script directions are like super useful, especially when it comes to doing redos for the character. There's like I get some clients that have good instruction and they are satisfied with the redos I did, all because they put in some really good directions on what they want. There's like some clients I experience that like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, once I recorded, they said, oh, I'm sorry, it has to be this way, and that's just so annoying. It's like, why didn't you write that in the first place? So I wouldn't have to waste my time doing this in this way. It's like,
Yeah, that's why if you don't have those details in the script, you can't really complain when the actor doesn't do them. Again, you need to write so that everyone can understand what's happening. Because a script is not just a guide for your project. A script is supposed to be what an actor will do, what an animator or an audio editor will have to put in, sets the tone, things like that. You can't just write a bunch of words and expect people to get what you mean by them. The script has to be understandable by anyone.
yes, exactly.
Because like Misk and Midnight, have you ever had issues like that where you do a read and then the person gets back to you complaining that you didn't do something that wasn't even in the script?
Thankfully, nothing has really come up in anything that I've voiced. Regarding most of the people that I've worked with have had really good script direction. With regards to what the character is kind of going for, what the scene is specifically, things like that. I haven't had really been many issues, nor have I really done any live recording sessions, just because I'm often, well, I work at a hospital, so it's kind of hard to find the time when other things are kind of going down, especially for the past 2 years. It's been hard to find the time.
Oof.
Yeah, I think I can think of one example in particular where like it wasn't specified, but they were looking for, I guess I won't say which project, but like they were looking for a specific monster voice, and like I gave them a specific monster voice, and I know I nailed it. Like I know for a fact I nailed it. And then I was like, how's this? You know, I sent them the lines and everything, and they were like, ooh, I was hoping for something like not like quite this
Oh my god.
monstery. And I was like,
Dude,
I mean,
that's so annoying when people would say that.
you probably should have told me that before I went like ham on my throat, and now I can't like really re-record this for you.
I know.
Should have told me.
Yeah,
You should have told me when to go like 50% monster, not 100%.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah, or they should have given you a voice reference.
yeah, a voice reference would have been great, and like, to be fair, like after that they gave me a voice reference and everything was fine, but like, it was just like they're like, this is what I'm looking for, somebody who can voice this kind of thing, and like, I ended up getting it, and then they were like, ooh, yeah, I want something less intense or something like that, and I was like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, there's like some people's going, oh, we want a medium voice, and I gave it a shot, and then it's like, oh, we want it higher. It's like, you guys asked for a medium voice. This is the best I can do.
Higher medium.
I know, right?
I want it like in the high end of medium.
I know. And they gave me.
Go ahead.
I want a low, medium, high, medium, low, medium, high.
I mean, that's. That was
I want,
fine for me.
I want like a medium. I want like a medium rare voice.
Yeah.
I want a grande latte,
Hold the brev, please.
pumpkin spice.
Yeah, and after that, and then they gave me a voice reference. It's like, oh, this is gonna be tough, but I'll try. I tried it out. They said, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Goodbye.
Oy vey, just oy vey.
If you're
I-
hosting a casting call somewhere, you have no reason to not post a voice reference,
I
right?
know,
Like,
right?
Yeah, I've always give as much information in the the post as possible, because you don't have a reason not to, because you can't say, oh, it's a secret project if you're publicly posting it, guys.
Oh
You
dear.
you can't really say that. Hey guys, I'm casting this. I can't give much details, but yeah, because it's a secret. It's like you're posting it out there.
Oh my gosh.
Just no.
Mm-mm.
So terrible.
Said live recording is fun. It is fun at times, but it's more fun when you do it with friends.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
better with somebody you know, for sure.
I know I did it privately with where like I was a friend too, but I was really nervous because I don't have any acting skills. But he taught me a lot about the basic actings. When I did my demo reel, and it was scary, but still, I learned a lot from
mean,
that day.
I mean, hey, I've been nervous doing live voice directings myself because I don't want to, because like I want it to go just as right because it's my script, and I'm like, oh god, I hope that actually works and there's no typos that I haven't noticed, and people can panic, and they're just really good at hiding it.
I wasn't good at it.
Plus, I've had several years of acting experience outside of voice acting, and I still get nervous. So the process will always keep going. So you'll always feel that no matter what.
Oh man. Oh, 100 messages today was restring chat. Oh boy. That was the weird thing to read. Yeah, I know you did it with friends. It is much better with friends anyway.
Yeah, laugh about it.
Yeah. That's why you did a good job on it, because you had friends and you're able to act pretty well with your character. I mean, he's able to voice a character that's from a internet show. Hell of a boss. I can't pronounce it sometimes. Moxie.
Moxie.
Yeah. And he did so well in it. And everybody's like, oh, we love you as Moxie. Moxie, Moxie, Moxie. And just like, and he's like, this is the only character you guys recognize me in. I was like, it's that type of feeling. It's like, it's the character you guys only recognize me in. Sheesh. I mean, that was a little off topic. Oh man.
That's actually another good point. I know many actors don't like it when fans or people only identify them by a character they play. Guys, don't do that, because that actor is not the character, and you should be respecting them by calling them the name that they like. I have
Yeah.
many VA friends. They don't like it when people just exclusively call them by characters that they've played. Guys, it's okay to appreciate them for the voice work that they've done and the characters they've played, but when you only call them that name, it's really rude. Voice actors don't like it, and unless they're in like a roleplay stream or they're playing the character in something, that's fine for context. But if imagine if, say, we were on stream, Luna, you were playing a game, and someone just kept calling you the name of a character you played, and you said, please call me Luna, and they just refused to.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't experienced that yet. But I know
But I
that's...
have seen it happen.
Yeah. And I can get that.
So always be respectful to voice actors. You know, call them by the names and pronouns they want you to call them, because it doesn't cost anything to be a nice person. Doesn't
Nope.
cost anything to have
Yeah.
manners. If it's
Yep.
that much effort for you to be polite, then fix yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Trying to do voice acting. You should get started soon, Phoenix. You're already good at making voices.
Yeah, there's never a wrong or right time to start voice acting or anything. Just
Yes.
have fun with it.
You're never too
Enjoy
old to start.
Yeah.
I know some people are like, oh, I started too late. Morgan Freeman didn't start acting till he was a full adult, and
There's-
and he
there's-
killed it.
I'm sorry,
you-
just go ahead. They're just seeing ad breaks right now, and just like, well, NFL.
Oh yeah, I've got I don't even know what this ad is. I think it's jeans.
I don't know. It's for Prime Video for the Houston Texans versus the Eagles.
But yeah, I mean, like, guys, Morgan Freeman is a famous actor, and he didn't start acting till I think in either his 30s or his 40s. So there's no
Wow.
reason you can't. There's never a too early or too late phase. So don't put so much pressure on yourselves, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't start until like last year since I was 25. There's so many regrets I made for not starting earlier, like in high school or in college. It was like, well, we just gotta do it. No.
But I like, just think of it like better to give it a shot than not at all, as well as whether you have the acting background like myself, who's done it for different years of different school stuff, even church stuff, and have other background stuff, like maybe for myself, I've done church choir that helped with my voice stuff, or do it anything else in between. Yeah, church choir, but gotta love. But whatever it is, just for voice beyond, I would say even beyond voice acting, it's never too late to give it a shot.
Yeah.
I got into it because of role playing, because I had fun with it, and then I grew from there. Maybe you can do something from that. It's as Tyrone and everyone else has said, you're better off just giving it a shot, seeing how it goes, and have fun. That's the ultimate part. That's the part of it, right? Just to have
Yeah.
fun.
I heard from
Yeah, I mean, you first, Luna.
sorry. It's like I heard from professional voice actress who plays as Frankie, Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah, that voice actress. She said, yeah, just go do it. People would spend a lot of money, but just go do it and just give it a shot on what you can do. And it's like it came from a professional voice actress. It's like, oh. It's like, yeah, go do it. Just do it, man.
I mean, before as a director, I did acting in high school, and I was pretty good at it. Tried doing an acting in film, didn't really get there because, well, I'm 6'8" tall, and from what I've heard, I'm too tall to be an extra, not handsome enough to be a lead.
What?
That doesn't make sense.
What?
That's
I
what
feel
was
like
told.
I feel like if somebody's a 6'8" extra, people are going to be looking at the guy in the background, and I
Yeah.
sort of understand that.
I think the only thing I'd be fitted for is like Jason Voorhees or a Predator.
Frankenstein's monster. I don't even know.
I mean,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
probably, but when that didn't really pan out, I turned to filmmaking because I really enjoyed, coming up with ideas and storytelling. And eventually that got me into working with voice actors because I wanted to make animation. I mean, I can't animate myself. I did study it, but so I know the basics of it. But and that's how I got into the VA community and doing audio stuff as well. So, one foot in the door. Like, if you want to be a voice actor, guys, try it. But maybe you find you enjoy directing, writing, casting, audio editing, anything. It's an avenue to many other things, so don't be afraid to try it. Again, I tried one thing, didn't work, moved to another thing, much more successful at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. I'm just trying to see. I don't think this is ever talked about in the podcast before. Let's go and add that. This one. There is a difference between safe work and not safe work, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like one person that says not exactly the same because it's pretty much all about casting, audition, take money from clients, do jobs, and all that stuff. But there's still some differences between the safe work and not safe work. No, not the moaning and all that stuff.
I mean, obviously, there's sort of like an age barrier, minors aren't supposed to access NSFW stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you are being a vocal artist in both senses of it, it's just, might have, you might limit one side of audience, get a new side of audience, but at the end of the day, you're in a booth or a closet or somewhere else, just making noises into a microphone.
Yeah. It's pretty much you have to be 18 in order to like
Yeah.
go in there. And if
Oh,
you
yeah.
have like prior experience from acting and being in the safe for work, you definitely know how it works. Oh, thank you for coming, Sen. That's a
Thanks a lot.
That's like the similar. It's like, but the difference for safe for work, there's like not as much VAs in not safe for work community, but but this year I'm seeing a lot of people coming in to the not safe for work, and it's gonna be tough, but still.
I feel like either or, whatever direction you take, safe for work or not safe for work, you're still gonna go through the grind and the competition and everything. There's because even if there's more in the not safe work than the safe work community, I still believe it's gonna be a grind nonetheless with regards to getting casted or finding roles or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just means that, there's an age barrier. So I guess the other thing would be, we have to tell people just because you do NSFW work doesn't mean that, you're a lesser VA.
Mm-hmm.
Just not true at all. Or it doesn't mean that you're inviting people to be weird or degenerate. That's not true.
No.
And it doesn't mean that you also get a right to be a bad person or
Yeah.
Exactly. You're just like here to voice act. Here to like try out not safe for work voice acting. When I first started, like I heard the rumors about not safe for work voice act, the not safe for work community being a lot more better than the safe for work, and it's
Yeah.
actually true, very true. But there's like still a little bit of a split group thing. Like some people are friends with these kind of people and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well,
E-
there's still some good people out there. A lot of good people here.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I would agree that my transition was kind of similar. I was probably doing safe for work for some time. Nothing really major, just a lot of things with friends. Until I think I met someone that was in the not safe for work community. They wanted to, make that transition. And of course, I think one of the things that one of the differences is that you kind of have to get used to a new side of hearing yourself. Because when you
Oh.
because when you're doing the safe work stuff, yeah, you'll hear things and maybe you'll cringe at a dramatic line or something like that that just sounds kind of like off, and maybe you'll re-record. But then when it comes to especially the not safe work side of things, where you're like, there's a certain scene that just feels like off, and of course you have to hear through your voice going through whatever scenario. That takes a bit the first couple of times, because I think that's a voice that you don't normally have to keep listening to. And I will say that even for myself, it's still, you know, it it gets me off of like, oh well, that's not where I wanted to go with that direction. Might need to re-record that. And but then you sometimes you get a bit embarrassed. But again, that comes with the experience and the growth there.
Oh yeah, I do agree. Yes, 100%. It's like, oh my god.
Oh gosh, I'm
And
hearing
that
myself for 5 hours. Oh god. Uh,
and you hear yourself from a game that's gonna be up there forever. It's like, oh gosh.
I'm not worried about that. I'm just more worried about like listening to myself, the recording over and over and over again, and be okay. This is good.
Oh
This is good.
yeah.
This is not good. Oh great, I have to figure out that transition there.
It's like,
Um.
fuck, mouth click. Oh no, there's background noise.
Oh no, there's background noise. Oh no, I my voice cracked in between mid moan. Oh frick. No. Gotta do that again.
It's like, oh, you hear yourself in bloopers. Go like, oh crap, I messed up. I gotta start all over again.
Yeah.
XFW bloopers are the best.
Oh yeah, I would
Oh, yeah.
agree.
I can all agree.
Yeah, it's actually more fun. Not safe with bloopers. When you accidentally say stuff by accident, it's like, ooh. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're just like talking about, um, oh, we get like bad takes, and doing bloopers. But hello, welcome.
I don't know.
Like-
Oh, go ahead, Mask.
I was just gonna say, like, you slip like out of an accent or something like that, like
Oh.
during, and you're just like, like, well, okay, I guess I'm gonna redo all of that then, or whatever.
Oh my gosh,
I don't-
yeah.
I don't know. I like to think of it like I'm actually in the scenario that I somehow screw up, and I'm like, God dang it! Well, the mood's dead. Gotta fix it somehow.
Yeah, I hear a lot of accents that like there's some people that does can't hide their natural accents, and there's like other people that can. It was like it's pretty cool. It's like, oops, my stuff slipped. Gotta start all over again. Fuck.
I think another thing, similar slash different, I just wanted to add to was, I think the content that you'd be voicing, because I think
Yeah.
once you make that, because feel like in the safer community, you kind of get the gist of like, okay, everything is kind of like, there's things that you'll kind of see that you kind of know about, and everything scenarios are kind of similar, or like, but then when you move into, I think the not safe for work is where it kind of opens doors of like, okay, where are you right now, of what can you be able to voice right now, because
Yeah.
that will because I will say that it's okay to like not to have their boundaries, to put out like, okay, I'm not comfortable having or voicing certain things or certain categories of things, and sometimes you can say like, okay, I'll give it a shot. That's what I always say, like, give it a shot at least once, reading the script or reading whatever the scenario is, and see how you feel about it. If you feel like you can keep going, go ahead and see if you can. If you feel any aspect of, okay, I don't feel comfortable, then you have a category that you can't voice, and that's okay, because I feel like, because in the safe work, you will have maybe one or two maybe scenarios, but the not safe for work, oh, you open up that rabbit hole. There is a boatload of things that
Yeah.
at first when I first started, I was like, there's no way I'm voicing in this. maybe and then here I am now where I'm like, you know what? It's not not my cup of tea, but this is a weird tea. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a
Yeah,
shot.
Yeah.
I remember I had a I had an NSFW audio done. Voice actor did it, but about a year later, they said they no longer felt comfortable having done that and wanted it removed. I just removed it
Oh.
because that's fine. Voice actors should be able to approach people to say, "Hey, do you mind either removing this, getting this re-recorded? No longer feel comfortable having done stuff like this." It was no skin off my nose, and it wouldn't have done me any better to say, "No, I paid for this voice work, and that means it
Mhm.
gets to stay up." It's like, no, no, people,
Um.
you know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like I was selling it for anything. It was just a free audio online, and if I ever wanted to get it re-recorded, then I can find an artist who is, but it's not a priority for me, and I'd rather respect that VA and have their and maintain that friendship and professional courtesy than needlessly stand my ground. And when people were asking, "Oh, you removed that audio," it's like, yeah, actress didn't want it up anymore.
I
And
mean, it's
then
their choice.
Mhm.
and people would say, "Oh, can I get a copy of it?" Went to the actress house. People want to know if I can privately give it out. She said no. I said no. They're not comfortable with it being out there. I'm not giving it.
Mm.
Amen.
Amen.
And for one casting call I did, it's for an animated film that's slowly being produced. Um, with the casting call I had, I said this role, you know, has NSFW elements, and because it's kind of like what you'd call an MA, or I guess in America an R-rated movie. So there is stuff like that. So people understood the role, and that was fine. And as but for other roles in the project, I would give a disclaimer saying this role will not, have any of this, but the rest of the project contains that. So there's a transparency. I think that's the most important thing that needs to be between SFW and SFW: transparency. Let
I would
people
agree.
let
Mm.
let people know what they're voicing,
Yeah.
but also what's in the rest of the content, so that they don't,
Yeah.
because if you're not being transparent, or you're lying by omission, something comes out, then a voice actor has every right to call you out for it.
I
Like
feel
you,
like that's also very sketchy too. If you don't be all like, okay, what's this about?
yeah, I haven't seen too many of it, but I've seen projects where like people don't tell the truth about their purpose of a project, whether it's a documentary, footage, or anything like that. And then, it comes out and people are like, hey, and then people just publicly say, hey, that's not what you told me this was for.
Oh.
Mm.
Like, uh, I remember there was a thing recently with Tiffany Haddish, I think is her name, the comedian, where she got called out for like a decades old sketch which involved naked minors, and
Oh.
apparently those minors were not disclosed correctly about what the situation was for. So it
Oh.
was like, yeah, don't do that, especially not to children. Like
Oh.
just what the hell? Or I remember there was a documentary where they got scientists to give, sort of vague statements because they didn't exactly tell them what the purpose of the documentary was for. And when it came out, this scientists were like, "Yeah, we're not, we're not comfortable with this." And the documentaries were just created like a conspiracy or nonsense or whatever. And it's like, just be transparent. It doesn't cost you anything.
Oh
I
no.
mean, yeah, I had some voice actors that said, like, I'm not comfortable, being in a project with NSFW content. I said, no problem there. Fully respect it.
Yeah.
I'll keep you in mind for other work. If you're gonna be that petty about it, you shouldn't really be making things.
Hmm.
Act like an adult.
Goodbye. Yeah, be upfront is like, be upfront about it, man. yeah, it's everybody's comfort zone. You have to let us know what stuff is gonna be there that's not gonna make any. It's gonna make actors or actresses uncomfortable about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very
Yeah.
important to spoil us a bit. um, but it is good to show us what's to be expected. You know? Yeah, there's a lot of there's some people that just doesn't read. I mean, some clients and people want to commission that doesn't read what people are not comfortable with on our resume. Oh, it's like so many times when I get DMs like that, and the same thing with others. It's just like, no, we're not comfortable with that. But it's good that you ask. But at the same time, please read what we don't do.
Another thing I'd say for people who are fans of SOW creators, don't ask how they make the audios.
Oh my god.
Don't ask. Like, I know that some VAs will say how they do it, but they say it publicly, so there's no question about it. But don't go in DMs like, "Hey, how do you make this noise?" It's like, get out of here, you freak.
No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This happens to me a lot. It's like, hey, do you use toys for when you act? It's like, no. I'm just an actress. I just act in certain scenes. So get out of here, bro.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
thank you for the compliment. It sounded real, obviously, and
Get out.
get out of my DMs, please.
Yeah, it's like being an NSFW creator does not, it doesn't give somebody the right to, degrade you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, just don't do it.
Yeah. We're all happy.
And
We're just happy
and don't-
voice acting here. Sorry.
And don't send unsolicited phallus imagery.
Oh
Ah.
no.
The whole episode, the whole thing about that one.
Yeah.
I still get those.
Oh my god, you do?
Oh
You
god.
yeah, any VA can get any of those. I'm literally like, look, and I'm just like, oh, why?
Ugh.
it's only happened to me a couple of times, but yeah, it does
Oh my
happen.
gosh.
Part of me feels like anytime somebody does that, you should just publicly post it because it's like there should be a disclaimer saying if you send me this type of image, I will publicly post that you did.
Yep. For me, it was just like, oh, you gotta pay me to rate your picture. I mean, some people are doing it as a business now. It's like, okay, I guess I'll
Yeah.
do the same
I mean,
too.
may as
Well,
well.
well, yeah,
I
well,
respect
yeah.
the hustle.
Like take whatever you can get, but like still, it's just more like
It's
yeah, I
like don't do it unsolicited. Do it to the people who do that as a service, guys.
Mhm,
There's plenty of them out there.
there is.
Yep.
Don't do it to random VAs.
No.
Just because you like them doesn't mean you get to do that. Don't hit on them.
No. Gross.
Don't be weird.
Yeah. I'm just a voice actor.
Yes, they're voice actors. Respect. They're not going to date you.
No.
Thank you for the compliment. Please leave.
Get out of here before I find my shotgun.
That's it. I'm getting me mallet.
I love courage. Oh, maybe it
Getting-
should be a good topic. Talk about like TV shows.
Getting literally all of the Halloween references out there.
Oh yeah, courage is like creepy, but it got some good serious moment, and it was executed very well.
Stupid dog! You make me look bad.
Ooga booga booga. Oh, I missed that show.
Return the slab
or face my
curse.
Or suffer my
What's your offer?
Those memories.
Come on, man.
Love it.
That's actually a good. I think it might be another good topic to think about is, like, what shows like did you ever like do like maybe like voice stuff like as a kid or like things for like fun.
Oh, that would be
'Cause I-
so much fun.
Because I remember like when I was little, I think I used to do a very good Woody the Woodpecker before I hit puberty. The moment
I
that
believe it.
Yep.
literally like went from high pitched like Woody the Woodpecker to low pitched like, well, this isn't gonna work.
It's like that scene of Peter Griffin finally
Yes,
hitting puberty.
yes, I know that one.
Oh my gosh.
Hey guys, you want to play baseball? Excuse me, I'm gonna go masturbate.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Wow. We have
I think all of us as kids like would pretend to voice along to this stuff, especially if you rewatched it ad nauseum.
I remember. I think beyond Woody the Woodpecker, I think for me it was also SpongeBob. SpongeBob SquarePants. I kid you not. I was on the playground, had my arms up just like SpongeBob, and
Uh-oh.
just literally running around saying, "Ah, I'm ready." And like, oh, and it's just, I there's a part of my childhood I'm like, why does this hurt? Remembering. but I think it's just like those little small aspects that just make you
Oh
think,
god.
man, my voice acting talents went further than I thought it did.
Oh man, that's fun.
I think the best test of a voice actor skill is how well you can fool someone over the phone.
Oh,
Like, can you make someone believe that you're a different person over the phone?
That would be awesome.
I
I mean, I worked in retail. I have a voice for that, and I have my voice, and then I've got.
Yes, I could agree with that too, especially since I've answered many a phone calls over the hospital. So pretty.
Like,
Pretty-
imagine being able to imitate like a automated phone dialer.
Oh gosh.
Your
would-
call
that's-
has been received. Please pick from one of the following options.
We're sorry. Your call is very important to us.
Or in reality, your call is not very important to us. Please hang up.
It sucks. Feels like for me, I started to do voice acting demos and fooling a scammer over the phone. Good one.
Oh yeah, I think
that's-
we've all done that. Pretend to be somebody else.
No, I think that's the ultimate test there.
Can you trick a scam into thinking you're an old person? Now, how do I work this damn Microsoft?
I don't want to do that. I don't know. I can't do old lady voice. That's incredibly hard for me. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, this is a great way to end the stream, especially the podcast.
So there's your test of voice actors. Fool a scammer who calls and see how far you can take it, and feel free to record it.
I mean, that'd be a pretty good video for sure.
I mean, it's like Ownage pranks. Remember him?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Hey, yo, it's Tyrone. Literally. For the record, I'm not black, obviously.
No, we can tell
I was
if
actually-
they are black.
I was actually first day of college. A guy came up to me and said, "What's your name?" I said, "I'm Tyrone." It's like, "Wow, you're tall. Wait, do you play basketball?" No. Do you sell weed? No. Not allowed to be called Tyrone, dude.
Oh,
Damn.
ouch.
It's like, I'll have you know, I was named after a white person. No, seriously, my parents named me after Tyrone Power the First Zorro.
Oh,
Wow.
oh,
That's
interesting.
bad. I'm named after a white guy who's famous for playing a Mexican.
Wow.
So bad.
I mean, there's
I
got to
mean-
be something good about that.
Should
I mean, yeah, but like now it's kind of like you don't want to call your child now Kevin anymore.
Durant?
ouch.
No, Spacey.
Ah, fair enough.
It's kind of like you don't call a kid Adolf anymore, but
Oh, well, yeah,
you know,
that's
there's
true.
still some of those out here.
That's true.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to call it a night. Hey,
Oh,
thank
Sounds
darn.
good.
you.
Things were getting
All
really
right.
getting fun,
Thank
but
you, Tyrone,
oh
Mesk,
Had to cause low
and
chaos.
Yeah.
After Dark Ninja. Thank you all three for using your time for this
yeah,
for
of course.
participating in the podcast. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
I'm
Of
gonna give
course,
you
Enjoyed
hope to be
it.
back.
hope
Hopefully,
everyone
some people got educated.
Yeah.
yes. And we covered quite a really good topics too. For like three topics instead of just a lot more from than the previous episode did.
Mhm.
Like we were like la 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 la. But yeah, here's a last shout out for you guys and thank you again. Thank you viewers for coming too. So
Yeah.
yes.
See ya.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Anything you wanna say to the viewers, guys?
Thanks for coming out.
Sledfast. What was what was the meme? Crap. I'll whatever. I can't remember right now.
Please commission these three to voice the weirdest stuff ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
look at
totally
our
fine.
resume.
Just pay them $1,000 and see what you can get away with.
Oh, that'll be great. No.
Is that a challenge now?
Yes, that is a challenge to anyone.
That'll like
chat
cover
in
my
here, so
bills.
just do it.
I mean,
Yeah. Be sugar parents to them.
Ooh, sugar daddies. Don't ask
Sugar
me. To...
mommy.
You go sleep, Phoenix. Thank you for coming.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna end it. Goodbye.
See ya.